technology strategic planning. I mean, this is an area where we really are going to have very focused discussions. And I think as a county, we've seen a lot more movement in this arena in a lot of different places, whether it's, posting of an agenda and supporting materials through the clerk of the board's office, whether it's the microwave system, whether it's the, internet access through the library, and on and on and on, all the way through. And so what the report that's in here is called Technology Direction and Planning, and it basically provides an overview of the responsibilities of the Deputy CEO for Technology and the framework into which Justin Fan was hired. And then we will be convening what we're calling the Technology Council. It's similar to what was ISPC before, Information Services Planning Committee. And that Technology Council will be convened sometime in January and will be part of taking us forward. And I think the critical part is it's going to involve department heads as well as the people within the county providing their services. And then there will be different steering groups, task forces, whatever, around specific projects. So, for example, we're reconvening the steering committee for Munis, and Justin is starting up a planning committee around JLAM, which is the criminal justice case management system that is on its last legs and needs to be upgraded, replaced, etc. And so all of those are part of it. So the idea was, this outlines where we're going with it and what we hope to accomplish, and thought this would be useful. So, any questions, comments on that?
Allison, if I might just read one comment into the record from an article on the internet. It says California could see a gain of 1.8 million jobs and $132 million a year in payroll over the next 10 years if broadband internet use among adults is increased by 3.8% annually. So that's one of the reasons that we think this is so important from an economic development standpoint, while also meeting the needs of citizens of Mendocino County.
So that kind of moves us into the next report that was included, which is convening a broadband leadership team. And this report was put together by Justin. Tom has done most of the outreach to that, and I'll let Tom and Justin say anything you want to say about this piece of it, because he's connected with that whole technology push.
Just we wanted the board to be aware of this, a major effort on our part to do this broadband leadership group. Paul Titchen from County Schools is on our steering committee, and the group that we've worked with in implementing this project is the, I always call it the Indian Alliance, but Hillary's here. I think we have the Coast Alliance.
So Mendocino Coast Broadband Alliance.
Mendocino, thank you, Mendocino Coast Broadband Alliance. So that has entanglements to try and get telemedicine into some hospitals. We're trying to get outreach to the libraries and pick up some internet activities there. And we just wanted you to know that this will be a major initiative that we'll be working on for next year. That we'll be reporting back. We're going to try and do it by example. And Paul Titchen has committed that we can use a system called WebEx, and we're going to try and meet every couple of months. And by using WebEx, we can edit our documents online. So everything, we won't have to have meetings where people devote a lot of time or gas, and to go to a central location through WebEx. We'll all be working together to try and edit some documents. There's a number of impediments we have here locally, just in our own planning and building regulations. We, in effect, keep some businesses from being successful because of the way our regulations talk about how we roll out this technology. So we'll be undertaking some revisions to our zoning code also as part of this project. So I think you'll be excited. We hope for some real results within the next year or two.
Any questions? Okay. The next item here then, work groups for fire services and EMS. And these were work groups that were set up by the board at mid-year, May, I can't remember the exact date. And we actually had a number of meetings up until the end of June, July, when basically all of our participants fled the scene. And so it's been a little hard to pick that back up from there, but I would use this as an opportunity to mention the lightning jam that was very successful with this county helped to pull off. And the main thing that we're looking at is specific funding sources that could be established for the long term. And a lot of that has to do with looking at the CSA 3, the County Service Area 3, and that's something that we're working with County Council on researching, and I guess there's some new regulations or code now about that. So while we'll make more progress this next year, we had hoped to kind of get it all figured out by the end of the year, but it's a big deal. If we can figure something out, though, with County Service Area 3, it could answer a lot of ongoing funding issues, not only for fire, but also for EMS. And so we're really going to, at the beginning of the year, kind of rededicate ourselves to working on that particular item. Any questions on that?
Citizens will appreciate that.
Okay, then moving right along, any schedule work itself is worth revising. So this is actually better news, so I'm going to hand this around. This is revision 1, because you all said. So I took what was in there. What happened in between when that came out and now is we had a planning team meeting and an update on the water supply assessment. And so I actually moved up some time frames in one area and wanted to share that with you. But I would like to go through this very quickly so that everyone knows where we are. This is the planning team work program, and as you know, there are kind of 4 areas that we focus on. And I guess kind of in response to some of the discussion this morning, it has always been clear to me that the top priorities handed to the planning team were getting Utah Valley area plan off of Dead Center and keeping the general plan update moving. And I think we were always pretty upfront that we couldn't get to the Mendocino town plan until we had made substantial progress on both of those and had the staffing to do it. Earlier this year we got some staffing and then we have been working on it since. I will also say that the connection between the interest in the Mendocino town plan and the applications that it might be put to were not clear to me earlier. So anyway, we are where we are. Also, the Mendocino town plan, quite frankly, is a major project. As small as that town is, I would put it in the categories of some of these larger planning projects. And David, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
You could add another picture.
Anyway, so the first page is...
Encourage them to look again at incorporation.
Yeah, then I'll have it. Anyway, the top page is the first quarter of this fiscal year, and the keys here are the turquoise is when there's a board meeting associated with it. And so what we'll get out of this is that there are a number of board meetings all the way through this that are part of that. So the next page is